In this video, we're going to look at calculating the mean or average. So here I have to calculate the mean of the following marks in a test. So I have 1 occurring twice, I have 2 occurring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I have 4 occurring 3 times. So that means 2 students got 1 mark, 5 students got 2 marks, and 3 students got 4 marks. Now, the way to calculate the mean would be to add everything up and then divide by the number of things that you have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 things. So what I'll do for the mean is I'll say that the mean is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, going on like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 4, and that's 3 times, right? So 4 plus 4 plus 4. And then I'll divide all that by the number of things that I have, and I have 10 things. Or I could say we have 10 marks. So I'll be dividing by 10. So this will be equal to, so I go to my calculator to add these things up. So I'll have 1 plus 1 plus, I have 2 5 times, so 2 is 2. Then I'll add the 4 3 times, 4 plus 4 plus 4. Press equal, and I get 24. So that means we have 24 divided by 10, and that'll be equal to 2.4 marks. Now let's organize this raw data here into a frequency table and calculate the mean from the frequency table. Alright, so here I have the marks and the variable will be x, and then here I have the frequency, and we'll call that f. So looking at the marks, we have 1, then we have 2, and then we have 4. So for marks, I'm going to put 1, 2. We could include the 3 and put 3 here. The frequency will just be 0. And then we'll have 4. Now we have 1 occurring 2 times. See here, 1, 2. So for the frequency, we'll put 2. Here we have 2 occurring 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the frequency for 2, we put 5. Then we don't see 3 occurring anywhere here, so 3 frequency will be 0. And then 4 occurs 3 times, 1, 2, 3. So the frequency for 4 will be 3. Now to find out how many things that we have, we need to add up the frequency. We could count and see that we have 10 things here. But if you're looking at the table to know that, you have to add up the frequency. And now we have a symbol for summation, which means to add. And that symbol is sigma. So sigma, so that means to add. And since we want to add up the frequencies, that'll be sigma f. So we'll be adding up 2 plus 5 plus 3. So 2 plus 5 is 7, and 7 plus 3 is 10. So sigma f gives us the number of things that we have, which is the denominator here, 10. So look at this. We have 1 occurring 2 times. If we add 1 and 1, we get 2. Or we could say 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. We have 2 occurring 5 times. And if we add 2 plus 2, we get 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Or we could say take this 2 and multiply it by 5 and get that 10. We could say 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Or we can multiply the 4 by 3, since it's occurring 3 times, and get 12. So in order to replicate that on the table, what we'll do, we'll multiply the x times the f, the marks times the frequency, and we call that xf. So here I'll have my xf column, which will be the marks times the frequency. So 1 times 2 will give it 2. So we write that 2 here. We multiply 2 times 5, that will give it 10. So 10 here. Well, obviously 3 times 0 is 0. And 4 times 3 is 12. So notice this here, the xf simulates adding the 1 and the 1 to get 2, adding the 2 5 times to get 10, adding the 4 3 times to get 12. So what we want to do to get this 24 is add the 1 twice, add the 2 5 times, and add the 4 3 times to get this 24. So we'll be adding up the XF column. So we use the sigma symbol, sigma, and since this is XF, we put XF is equal to, and now we add 2 plus 10 is 12, 12 plus 12 is 24. So we get 24. And now you can see we have the 24 and the 10. So the 24 is the numerator and the 10 is supposed to be the denominator. So the formula for the mean when you have a table would be, so let's write out mean is equal to sigma XF over sigma F. And that's how we get the 24 over 10, which is equal to 2.4 marks. So this is an example how to work out the mean when you have raw data like this, and when you have that data organized in a frequency table. Now this here is ungrouped data. Now let's look at if we had group data, meaning if we had class intervals for the marks. So now looking at this question, we want to calculate the mean of the following marks in a test as shown in the table below. Notice for the marks, I don't have my variable x. That's because we have class intervals here. For my frequency, the symbol is F, and we have 5 students got between 1 and 5 marks, 2 students got between 6 and 10 marks, and so on. Now we know the formula for the mean is sigma XF divided by sigma F. Now in order to multiply our variable x times the frequency, I cannot multiply the class interval times the frequency. Therefore, I would need the midpoint, and the midpoint would be our variable x, and we'll be multiplying the midpoint times the frequency for the XF. So here I added my column for the midpoint. So that means we'll be adding 5 plus 1, which is 6, and dividing by 2. So that's 3. So our midpoint for the class interval 1 to 5 is 3. Then I'll have 6 plus 10 is 16, and divide that by 2, and I'll get 8. So our midpoint for the class interval 6 to 10 is 8. Then if I add 11 plus 15, I would get 26, and then I divide that by 2, I'll get 13. So our midpoint for the class interval 11 to 15 would be 13. And then we come in here, we add in 20 plus 16, and dividing by 2. So 20 plus 16 equal, get 36, and now we divide that by 2, and we get 18. So the midpoint for this class interval is 18. Now clearly we've seen a pattern here, 3, then 8, then 13, then 18. So I expect the midpoint for this class interval to be 23. Now let's just check on the calculator and see. 25 plus 21 press equal, we get 46, and now we divide by 2, and we get 23. Now we can add up all the numbers in the frequency column, which is sigma f. So I put sigma f is equal to, so we add 5 plus 2 plus 8 plus 10 plus 1, and we get 26. So sigma f is equal to 26. Then we need our xf column to find what is sigma xf. So now I'll be multiplying 5 times 3, and I'll get 15. Then 2 times 8, and I'll get 16. Then we have 8 times 13. So that's 8 times 13, and we get 104. Then I have 10 times 18, which is 180. And 1 times 23 is 23. So now we can work out what is sigma xf. So I'll go to my calculator and add up all the numbers in this xf column. So I'll have 15 plus 16 plus 104 plus 180 plus 23. And I'll get 338. So sigma xf is equal to 338. And now we have everything we need to work out the mean. We have sigma xf and sigma f. So the mean is equal to sigma xf over sigma f, or sigma xf divided by sigma f. And that will be equal to 338 divided by 26. And we would get, so I'll just pull up the calculator and type in 338 divided by 26. And I'll get 13. So my mean or average is 13 marks. So there you have it. This is how we calculate the mean for group data. And this is how we calculate the mean when you have ungrouped data. Of course, when it's organized in a frequency table. Now let's look at something else. What is the mode? Now we know the mode is the thing that occurs the most. So if you look at the raw data here, we can see that 2 occurs the most, so the mode is equal to 2. If we look at a table, how do we know which one occurs the most? Look for the one with the highest frequency. So you can see highest frequency is 5, and therefore 2 marks occurs 5 times. Therefore the mode is equal to 2. So I'll have mode is equal to 2. And I'll just shade these 2 here, because 2 occurs the most. And then I'll come across here, the highest frequency is 5, and therefore my mode is 2. Now let's go back across and look at the grouped data. So here, what we have is a modal class. So we look for the highest frequency, which is 10. So we have 10 here as the highest frequency. That means 10 students got marks within this class interval, 16 to 20. And that's the highest number of students to get marks within a particular class interval. So what we have is our modal class would be 16 to 20. So let's write out the modal class is equal to 16 to 20. And let's put marks here. I'll do the same thing here. Mode is 2 marks. And that will bring us to the end of this video.